Ready to dive deep into the world of high-stakes deals and ventures? You guys wanted a peek inside the mind of a master negotiator, and, well, we've got him. Donald Trump.
Yeah, through
his own words.
His own words in The Art of the Deal.
Exactly. And we're going behind the scenes. I mean, some of his most famous projects, we're talking the Grand Hyatt, Trump Tower.
Okay.
Even, a venture into the world of pro football.
The USFL?
The USFL. Wow. Okay, so by the end of this, you'll not only understand Trump's tactics, but, maybe even have some takeaways, some valuable takeaways to apply to your own negotiations, your own ventures, no matter how big or small.
Right.
So let's start.
Let's start at the beginning.
At the beginning, with Trump's early influences. So his father, Fred Trump, right?
Yeah.
A successful real estate developer.
Hugely successful, and a huge impact on Donald's approach to business.
In what way?
Well, Fred was known for his incredible work ethic and his sharp business acumen. There's this story about how, Fred built garages for like $50 each.
Wow.
Yeah. And then moved on to entire homes. And that really shows his understanding of construction costs.
Yeah.
And his ability to spot opportunities.
Yeah. And that is such a crucial lesson for any business, right? I mean, knowing your costs inside and out.
Absolutely. It's fundamental.
Yeah.
And that's something, Donald really took to heart.
Yeah.
Applied it to projects of, all sizes.
From those early apartment complexes to the skyscrapers, right?
Exactly.
But it wasn't just about the bottom line for Fred, though, right? I mean, he also emphasized, finding work that you love.
Right. And I think the book makes it clear that Donald wasn't just driven by money. Like, he genuinely enjoyed the challenge of making deals, the excitement of it.
And that ambition, I mean, that was evident from a young age, wasn't it? I mean, he talked about, wanting to prosper, not just, have a job. And he got into trouble for punching a music teacher that he considered incompetent.
Yeah, that's a wild story, isn't it? It really shows you his strong opinions and his willingness to act on them, even as a kid.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're not advocating for physical altercations here, obviously.
Yes, of course not.
But it does highlight that importance of advocating for yourself, right?
Yeah.
What you believe in. And in the business world, that might mean walking away from a deal.
Absolutely.
That doesn't align with your goals.
It's about, knowing your worth, setting those clear boundaries.
Exactly. All right. Let's talk about his first major deal.
Okay.
So the acquisition of Swift & Village.
Yeah.
Big apartment complex in Cincinnati.
This is where you see him putting those lessons from his father into practice. Like, he secures this low purchase price, obtains a mortgage for the same amount. So, minimizing his personal financial risk.
All right.
Yeah. And then he implements this truck patrol.
He's a truck patrol.
A truck patrol to prevent tenants from skipping out on rent.
Oh, wow. So very hands-on.
Yeah, very resourceful.
Yeah.
He invests in renovations, in landscaping.
Okay.
To enhance the property's value, right?
Yeah.
And, there's even this part where he takes a potential buyer to this fancy restaurant.
Showing his understanding of, how to kind of influence people.
Yeah, creating a positive impression can be huge.
Huge in closing a deal.
Yeah, for sure.
And in the end, he sells the complex for way more than he paid.
Massive success.
It was. Yeah, it was a huge success. And it was validation of his instincts.
Yeah, I think it gave him the capital he needed to move on to bigger things, too.
Yeah, which he does. And his next move
is
Manhattan.
To Manhattan.
Yeah.
The big time.
This is where we see him navigating this very complex world. I mean, New York City real estate.
Absolutely.
Right. And he uses his understanding of zoning laws, political connections, to secure these prime locations for his ambitious projects.
He was a master at working the system.
And there's a great anecdote about how he secured a zoning variance for the Grand Hyatt project.
Yeah.
He emphasized the building's positive impact on the community.
Smart.
Right.
Yeah. Successful negotiations, they often involve more than just hard bargaining.
I think that's a great point.
It's about understanding the needs of everyone involved.
Yeah.
Finding those win-win scenarios.
Yeah. It's about finding solutions that benefit everyone.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's dive into, some of these specific tactics that Trump employed to secure deals.
Lay it on me.
Okay. So one of his core principles is maximize your options. He stresses the importance of flexibility.
Having multiple plans.
Yeah, having like a plan B.
A plan B, a plan C.
I am even a plan C.
You got to be ready for anything.
Yeah.
He uses the example of the Penn Central Terminal project. Initially, he wanted to develop it for residential use, but then funding for housing dried up.
Oh,
so
what did he do?
He pivoted to a convention center.
Okay.
Adapted to the circumstances.
That's a great example of adaptability. Yeah. Being able to, adjust to those changing circumstances, I mean, crucial in any business.
Absolutely.
Okay, so another key tactic is use your leverage. And he understood how to identify, right?
Yeah.
And exploit the seller's kind of desperation, right?
Take advantage of their weakness.
Yeah, to secure a favorable deal. And the Commodore Hotel deal is a perfect example.
Yeah, textbook Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that deal set the stage for the iconic Grand Hyatt. It's amazing how one deal can, have such a ripple effect.
They build on each other. Momentum.
Yeah. And then he also understood the power of self-promotion, right? He was a master. I mean, at using media attention to his advantage. He knew how to turn even negative press into positive outcomes.
Control the narrative.
It's all about controlling the narrative. Think about how you can leverage, your strength and position yourself strategically in your own negotiations.
Solid advice.
Okay. Let's talk about Trump Tower. This project embodies his ambition and his drive.
This wasn't just about building another skyscraper.
No.
He wanted to create an icon, a symbol of luxury and success. And you see that reflected in every detail, from the hand-picked Italian marble to the reverse sales technique that he used to drive demand for those apartments.
Reverse sales.
Reverse sales, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, tell me about this marble. I mean, he even meticulously inspected the marble slabs himself, using black tape to mark the best pieces. I mean, it shows this incredible attention to detail.
Yeah, he was obsessive about quality.
Wow.
And then there's this story of the architecture critic, Ada Louise Huxtable. She wrote this scathing review. It was intended to be a condemnation of the building.
Oh, wow.
But it backfired because it just fueled this curiosity, and it actually boosted the project's appeal.
So sometimes even negative publicity can work in your favor if it keeps people talking.
Any press is good press, as they say.
Exactly. And the reverse sales technique, I mean, that's fascinating. So instead of, aggressively pursuing buyers, he creates this sense of exclusivity. And scarcity.
Make them feel like they need to be a part of it.
Yeah, make them eager to be a part of this elite community. I mean, that's brilliant.
It is.
By limiting access, right? And highlighting the desirability. He increased that perceived value.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. How can you apply this concept of scarcity to your own offerings? I mean, it's something to think about.
It's a challenge worth exploring. I mean, because we're all in the business of selling something.
Whether it's
our skills, our ideas.
Our products, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, let's shift gears a little bit and talk about Trump's venture into pro football.
The USFL.
The USFL with the New Jersey Generals.
This was a bold move.
Yeah.
Into a completely different arena, and he went head to head with the NFL, moved the USFL season to the fall, hoping to, attract a bigger audience, secure those more lucrative TV deals.
So big gamble.
It was.
Big gamble.
Huge gamble.
And ultimately it didn't pay off.
Right. Quite.
The USFL faced those, legal battles, lacked, the support from the other owners, really necessary to compete with a giant like the NFL.
Yeah, taking on the NFL is no joke.
No, it's not. And it's a reminder that even the most ambitious ventures can fail. Right. Even for Donald Trump. Yeah.
Even for Donald Trump. And before we move on, I think it's really important to emphasize this lesson of carefully assessing the strength of potential allies, right? And the overall landscape of any industry before diving in. I mean, it's so important to do your research, right?
Diligence.
Make sure you're prepared for those challenges ahead.
Absolutely. Enthusiasm and drive are great.
Yeah.
But you also need that healthy dose of pragmatism, right?
Yeah.
And strategic planning.
Yeah. Great point.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
From Trump's early influences to those, bold moves in New York City real estate.
Building an empire.
Yeah. But the art of the deal, I mean, it goes beyond just just those business triumphs.
Yes,
It delves into, some of the controversies that arose along the way.
sure.
And one episode that really stands out
Yeah.
is his battle with the tenants of 100 Central Parks.
Yeah. He wanted to demolish the building to make way for this new luxury development.
Of course.
Right. But he faced resistance from those rent-controlled tenants.
They weren't going down without a fight.
No, they weren't. And this situation really highlights, I think, the challenges, right, of balancing development with the needs of existing residents.
Especially in a city like New York,
Especially in a city like New York, yeah.
where affordable housing is such a hot-button issue.
Yeah, and it raises questions about, how far is too far?
Right.
When pursuing your goals. I mean, was it acceptable for him to use those aggressive tactics that might displace, longtime residents?
Yeah.
Even if he was, acting within the law.
That's a tough one. It's a gray area.
It is.
He argued that he was offering, generous relocation packages.
He did.
But the tenants, they claimed that he was using, unfair pressure tactics.
It's to force them out.
To force them out.
Yeah.
And it became this very public battle.
Yeah, I remember this.
With the tenants portraying themselves as these underdogs.
Yeah.
Fighting this ruthless developer.
Yeah, it really makes you think about, the human impact of development.
The real people affected by these decisions.
Yeah, who benefits from these projects?
Exactly.
Right.
It's a debate that's, still relevant today as cities grapple with gentrification and displacement.
Yeah, for sure.
All these issues.
In the end, though, Trump, he sold the building.
He did.
Albeit at a significant profit.
Right. Always the businessman.
Yeah, it shows his ability to adapt and change course when necessary.
He was always willing to cut his losses when a deal no longer made strategic sense.
All right, let's move on to his venture into the world of casinos.
Okay.
Atlantic City.
The playground of the East Coast.
Yeah.
Big move for him.
This is where we see him, operating on this grand scale.
Building these opulent resorts.
Yeah.
Vying for dominance in a highly competitive industry.
Yeah, and it's interesting because his purchase of the Commodore Hotel in New York was actually a stepping stone to Atlantic City, right?
Interesting.
He saw the potential of the city as this gambling destination.
Ahead of the curve.
Yeah, and started acquiring
Prime real estate
there.
Yeah.
And he describes, assembling this complex land deal for his first casino.
Oh, wow.
Negotiating with dozens of property owners to secure the best location on the boardwalk.
That's classic Trump.
Yeah.
Thinking big, going for the best.
Yeah, and his partnership with Holiday Inn for this project is interesting.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
That's an interesting pairing.
It is. They had very different styles.
Like what? How so?
Well, Trump, he favored a more extravagant approach.
Of course he did.
Whereas Holiday Inn, they focused on cost control.
A little more practical.
Yeah, that can be a recipe for conflict.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Clashes of cultures happen all the time in business.
Yeah.
And this one, it certainly led to a split.
It did.
But it also, highlights the importance of finding the right partners.
People who
share your vision, share your values.
Yeah.
It's crucial for long-term success.
So the book, it talks about the construction of Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino, and it really showcases his attention to detail, his pursuit of perfection.
He was meticulous about every detail.
He handpicked the marble. He oversaw the design, and he even staged this publicity stunt with a helicopter dropping thousands of silver dollars on the casino floor.
Wow, that's over the top.
It is, but I mean, it's a great example of creating a spectacle, right? And generating that excitement around a project.
Yeah, you got to get people talking.
But he wasn't afraid to clash with his partners.
At Holiday Inn.
At Holiday Inn, yeah, over cost overruns, design choices.
Sounds like their relationship was pretty volatile.
Yeah, it sounds like it was.
A lot of strong personalities in that room.
Yeah, and it led to this high stakes battle for control of the company.
Oh, wow.
Trump, he launched a hostile takeover bid for Holiday Inn.
No way.
Yeah, he did.
He was going for it all.
He was. And eventually he acquired a significant stake and forced them to buy him out.
Of their Atlantic City partnership.
Yeah.
So he basically won.
He did. He sold his stake
For a huge profit.
solidifying his position as this major player in the casino industry.
He was unstoppable at that point.
Yeah, but he didn't stop there.
He didn't. What did he do next?
He went on to acquire the Hilton Casino
Hilton.
in Atlantic City, which was owned by the powerful Baron Hilton.
Big fish.
Yeah, and that deal involved some clever maneuvering. Well, the Hilton Casino, it was having trouble, securing its gambling license due to some family disputes.
Internal strife.
Yeah, and Trump, he saw an opportunity and negotiated directly with Baron Hilton, ultimately getting the casino
For a
bargain price.
He was a master negotiator.
He was. He's certainly good at spotting those opportunities
And capitalizing on them.
Yeah, and the book, it describes how he meticulously studied, the casino's financials
To find those weaknesses.
to find ways to cut costs and increase profitability.
Sure.
It shows that even in high stakes negotiations, thorough preparation and attention to detail can make a huge difference.
Absolute. Preparation is key, yeah.
He renamed the property Trump's Castle.
Of course he did.
And put his wife Ivana in charge of managing it.
Interesting. How'd that go?
Well, she proved to be a savvy operator, turning the casino into a success and further strengthening the Trump brand.
The Trump dynasty was growing.
Yeah, in Atlantic City. So far, I mean, we've seen, examples of Trump's successes, his failures, his calculated risks, his ability to adapt. I mean, it's a mixed bag, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it's the roller coaster ride, that's for sure. His career is full of highs and lows. But, the art of the deal, it provides like this unique insight into his mindset.
Yeah.
And the strategies that shaped his approach to business.
He's a complex figure.
He is.
But there's no denying his impact on the world of business and real estate.
He changed the game.
Yeah, he did. And in his story is a reminder that success, it isn't always linear.
It's a journey.
Yeah, there will be setbacks, challenges along the way. What are some of the key takeaways you think, listeners can apply to their own pursuits, regardless of their field?
Well, one of the most striking things is the importance of boldness and self-belief. Trump consistently set these ambitious goals and projected this confidence even when facing setbacks.
Yeah, he was never afraid to take risks or go against conventional wisdom.
Right, and that unwavering belief in himself, it was a key factor in his success.
But his approach, I mean, it also had its downsides, right?
It did.
His aggressive style and willingness to push boundaries, it created controversy.
Yeah, alienated some people.
Yeah, it raises those important questions about the ethical considerations, in pursuing success.
It's not just about achieving your goals, but how you go about doing it.
That's a great point. The art of the deal, it forces us to think about that balance.
Between ambition
and integrity.
Exactly.
What about the role of enjoyment and passion in all of this?
Well, throughout the book, Trump emphasizes the thrill of the deal.
Yeah.
The excitement of the competition.
Yeah.
And the satisfaction of seeing his vision come to life.
It's a good reminder that work shouldn't just be about grinding it out. It's important to find something you're passionate about and enjoy the process.
Yeah, absolutely. Find that fire.
Yeah. Now, let's move on to a project that showcases a different side of Trump's ambition, his involvement in the revitalization of the Woolman Rink in Central Park. And this wasn't just another real estate deal, right? The Woolman Rink had become like a symbol
of government inefficiency.
Of government inefficiency.
Plagued by delays.
Yeah.
Cost overruns.
Yeah, for years the city they struggled to renovate the rink. I mean, it became a case study in bureaucratic bungling.
Yeah. It was a mess.
It was the perfect opportunity for Trump to showcase, his deal-making skills.
He saw a chance to be the hero.
He did. He boldly offered to take over the project, promising to complete it on time and under budget.
A direct challenge to the city's competence.
That was a bold move. It was. And the media ate it up.
Oh,
they loved the narrative, right?
The outsider coming in to fix things.
Of the brash billionaire taking on the inept bureaucracy.
Classic Trump.
It is, but he faced resistance, you know, from
Right.
city officials who seemed, more focused on procedures
Than actually solving the
than actually solving the problem. Yeah.
bureaucracy at its finest.
It is. And Trump, though, he understood the importance of public perception, right?
Yeah.
He used that media attention,
Public pressure.
yeah, to force the city's hand.
Right.
He assembled a team of experts, streamlined that construction process, and delivered a beautifully renovated Woolman rink ahead of schedule
And under budget.
and under budget.
Right.
It was a huge PR win for him.
It really cemented his image as a man of action.
Yeah.
Someone who could get things done when the government couldn't.
Yeah, and this whole situation, it demonstrates, I think, the power of leverage, Trump. He recognized the city's desperation, right, for a solution, and he used that to his advantage.
He knew how to play the game.
He did.
Yeah.
It's a valuable lesson for anyone in a negotiation, understanding the needs and weaknesses of the other party. I mean, it can be incredibly powerful.
Knowledge is power.
Yeah. So as we wrap up our deep dive into the art of the deal, I mean, what are some of the biggest takeaways you think listeners can apply to their own lives?
One of the most striking lessons is the importance of boldness and self-belief. Trump, he consistently set these ambitious goals and projected this confidence, even when facing setbacks.
He never shied away from taking risks or going against conventional wisdom.
Exactly, and that unwavering belief in himself, it was key to his success.
But his approach, it also had its downsides, right? His aggressive style, his willingness to push boundaries. I mean, it created controversy.
Alienated some people.
Yeah, and it raises those important questions about the ethical considerations
In pursuing success.
Yeah, it's not just about achieving your goals, but how you go about achieving them.
Exactly. You have to find that balance.
That's a great point. The art of the deal, it forces us to think about that balance
Between
ambition and integrity.
Yeah.
Another takeaway that resonated with me was Trump's emphasis on having fun. He clearly enjoyed the thrill of the deal, the competition, seeing his vision come to life.
He had a passion for it.
Yeah, it's a good reminder that work, it shouldn't just be about, grinding it out. It's important to find something you're passionate about and enjoy the process.
Find that joy in what you do.
Yeah, we've explored the key insights from the art of the deal, uncovering Trump's strategies, his successes, and even some of his failures. But now we want to hear from you. What resonated most with you, from this deep dive? Which of these tactics could you apply to your own pursuits?
And as you navigate your own path to success, think about where you draw the line between ambition and integrity. It's a question worth pondering.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the art of the deal. We'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.